So let's check the picture again. That's basically a dream, not the realization. That's on the next slides. The idea is that I have on a web browser, well, here it's localhost. This is just for the presentation. You go to the web browser and then you have a list of devices here. Well, I only have one device. You load the device, the code for that device, which is, as you can see, the hardware ID. And you can modify, even with syntax highlighting, thanks to Code Mirror. Modifying your code, save it, and it gets stored somewhere where virtually it gets stored in the microcontroller. The microcontroller itself does load it on every reset, or you can even implement a control channel all the time. Anyhow, the simple implementation currently is just on a reset or a power on, it just checks the code on the server via the internet, downloads it, stores it on the SD card, and when executes it, of course. Next time the device gets switched off, tries to get the code again, but in case the internet connection is broken, it times out and executes the code which was stored from the last connection. So it's pretty simple. But what type of code should we put in there? Well, this one is just print out of a small devices, OLED screen, so that's nothing fancy. But what is the idea? It's a small, cheap microcontroller which probably acts as a gateway, and you have a real device, like an inverter from your solar cells or something else, and the inverter possibly has a CAN interface with maybe CAN open, maybe your proprietary protocol, or is connected via simple digital lines like an S0 connection of a smart meter or of a not so smart meter. And you have the chance to write some code in Lua here, which accesses some modules in the microcontroller code, for example, making an SDO transfer. So this line would be just a simple SDO read from this device, this object, and so on. Well, RS-232, everybody can deal with that. So the real simple idea is to make your business code in here, while the lower levels are implemented here, probably not even in Lua, because ULS, of course, is a little slower and takes more space. But there is no configuration you have to do, because you have modules down here, and you connect them with kind of glue code within Lua, even implementing the main functionality there as well. The real good point is that you only need a web browser and a server to deal with that. No IDE or all that things. Debugging is another issue. Maybe there is somebody coming up with an idea to build a debugger. I haven't thought about that yet. But I think debugging nowadays, I mostly don't even do debugging. I mostly go to logging. Switch on logging. Oh, it's not hard to put in some logging code in here, and just making a separate channel to a separate log, like a chat server or that, and just have a second window and log what's going on.